What's going? Oh, geez, what's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36, and this is Big Games B.S. part of Den Media Group, presented by the MFTK Foundation. On the road, Fort Walton Beach, here with lacrosse. Just trying to live our best lives here. And outside of that, let's go ahead and start our show off the same way we start our show off each and every day with the word of prayer.
You already know what time it is, dog. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God. God is great. All the time. All the time. Nobody wanna thank you, God. Thank you, God.
All right, Jaden, what we got?
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another morning edition of Big Games BS here on Friday, March 6th. This is your first time at the show. Welcome. And if you're wondering why it's called Big Games BS, it's because we bring the good, the bad, and the BS of the sports world, especially football, to your screens, eyes, and ears. First things first, we have an MFTK topic to get through before talking about the NCAA as well. Then we're going to finish off talking for a majority of the show about the NFL free agency, all the moves that's been coming out to the media. Then we're going to finish off our show with the Big Games BS section, where we bring the scope of the conversation outside of the typical football world. And for all the day ones, we got the BS or Bus and Food review segment in there as well. But first things first, I just wanted to get a quick MFTK update for you, since you said you was on the road for lacrosse. You posted this picture right here. Looks like y'all were doing the thing out there on the field.
Yeah, it was funny. There's one picture that I posted that we had, like, it was a controlled burn, but where like the Child's High School sits, it looked like a bomb had blew up in the back of Tallahassee. But yeah, we went 16-2. Mercy ruled them. Still, we got a young team. Didn't play as clean as we needed to play. Probably could have scored 16 in the first quarter. But you got to be able to get to halftime in order for Mercy Rule to be in effect. It feels good to be on the right side of a Mercy Rule. It kind of stinks when you're like on the wrong side of it. But Child's High fought valiantly. We just got more bullets in our gun than what they do. So we're now over here in Fort Walton Beach, or Miramar Beach, which for some reason I thought Miramar was South Florida, but we're in Miramar, and we play South Walton tonight at 7, and then we play Pensacola Catholic tomorrow, and then I drive back to Jacksonville to head down to Tampa to go see my guys play in the DR7 championships. So MFTK all day. We got some things going on, and we're having a good time trying to continue to do these things. My season is technically coming towards an end, but hopefully we'll find some new things to be able to continue to mentor these young men and potentially women moving forward in 2026.
I was wondering, before we talk about FSU college sports, I was wondering if you had anything you want to talk about on the football side regarding FSU, because I got some basketball and baseball scores I wanted to share with them. But before I did, want to ask you, did you have anything you wanted to say about the program? Any rumblings you've been hearing you wanted to address, or get straight into the scores?
Nah, nothing really from an FSU standpoint. I did see. I'm pretty sure you're going to put in there that a young man that I got a chance to get to see live and in person just went to an op. But outside of that, and I saw somebody, a good friend of mine, Taylor, writes for Chop Chat, does a really good job. A great headline, phenomenal headline. It's going to get a lot of traction, a lot of clicks on it. So like I got to give him kudos for that. But now you can go ahead and get it started into the news that you want.
FSU's baseball squad is making it look like it's a football game. They did get the dub 22-5, taking care of business. Shout out to them and shout out to Luke Laux and the FSU basketball team for getting a dub against Pitt 75-74 in an ACC matchup. So shout out to FSU programs doing their thing, and shout out to Laux for turning the season around as well. And let's just get right into one of the bigger news stories from high school transition to college football is the commitment of no haircut Nick.
That's
So,
what I was just talking about.
yep, Nick Lanier has committed to the University of Miami. It is no surprise. You can see here he was played for the Miami Northwestern Bulls, but he's now transferred to Carroll City, different high school. But I've seen everywhere he's a 4 or 5 star. I don't know
That
which
motherfucker is a 5 star.
5 star. Okay,
That man is amazing. That man is like, I can't hold on. He it's a guy who goes on there and he describes like the villains being interviewed after like Batman, after they see Batman or something like that. Oh, and then he'll just do some things like I can't breathe, and they'll get into he's a monster. But like just seeing this man like dismantle um a great program, like I mean a great corner is just like he literally took my guy's lunch money. And it was the adults' fault. Old men start wars that young men die in. And that's literally what happened. My man got slaughtered because an old man couldn't shut the fuck up.
the Ops did get another commitment for the class of 2027, standing at 6 foot tall and 170 pounds. So shout out to Lanier on committing for your home squad. Must be a great feeling. Must be a great feeling. So James, this video has been going. There's a video that's been going viral of the new wave, let's just say, of Guardian caps in football, courtesy of NC State. So we actually got a picture right here of this new and improved quote unquote Guardian cap. I wanted you to get your thoughts on it and also ask you, do you think this new style of Guardian cap will become more and more popularized?
I think this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. I think it is a thing that makes people feel comfortable. I don't think people understand how concussions happen. Concussions don't happen because there's not a soft object on the helmet. Concussions. Do you know? Show hands in the chat or anybody listening, or actually, let's just Google because I want to make sure I'm always up to date. Can we Google the sport that has the highest incidence of concussions? Because I know what it used to be about a decade ago, and it might have changed, but it's not what you think. Or even the fact that it's even in the top 5 would kind of make you would when you look at this, it spits in the face of Guardian caps. Please put up what Adrian just said. Adrian's comment, guys. Please put that up there because that is exactly what I see when I see Guardian caps. They already think we're hard R's. Why would we give them even more reason to think that we're a hard R? They just put a little propeller on the top of it. It make you really look like you one of them kids. But um, I wouldn't do. It's just like when they make us wear those helmets in 7-on-7. The thing that actually makes you less susceptible to that is the less, believe it or not, the less padding you wear, probably the freer you are. That's why you don't see, like, because the more armor you have, the more reckless you can become. You don't see these things. You don't see concussions like that in lacrosse. You don't see concussions like that. I mean, you see them, but you don't see them like that in these other sports. But soccer is one of the sports that has the highest instance of um, no, the highest incident. And fuck you, Delphonic, and fuck no haircut Nick. Because not because of he's a bad person, it's just because I don't like what he did. Just Nick in the comments. But this dumb shit, I don't want to see this. I don't want these things. It's not helping the game. It's not helping concussions. If anything, force everybody to wear mouthpieces, in particular the pacifier mouthpieces, because it helps. One of the real things is when you hit the impact, the first thing that happens is your jaw it just the impact that comes down on your teeth that sends the shock all the way back through your head. You have to lessen this, and that's what the pacifier mouthpiece does. That's why I wore them when I played, because I knew I was running full speed into somebody else, and I never had a concussion I can remember. Then if I also think if you because and what happened, the other part of it is there's not a lot of room, but there's enough room. So when you take that hit, the concussion is basically it's the shocks or the waves that hit that, or it's also that brain impact with the skull. And when you have another barrier that stops you on sudden impact, it forces the brain to be able to impact to the skull. So you know what you should do now. This is going to cost a lot of money. You should probably have it to where the helmets break upon X amount of force. So if I come up and I hit you, and let's just say I can only use miles per hour, but I don't really even think that's the most. I guess joules would be one of the things that you use. That science shit. I don't really know all of it. But if I hit you at 20 miles per hour and it's a helmet hit, it should crack that helmet and you can no longer play with that, or treat it like the video game. You know how in the video games you start losing power, and like if you're playing it and somebody hits you, you see the crack. Like let them crack. After so many cracks, the helmet becomes defective, and you have to take it back, and it has to go get changed. That will help. That would help more than essentially putting pillows on top of a helmet. And if you don't want the game to be violent, play something else. I mean, I just we were. It's not. Eventually, it's going to keep going down, and it's going to become something that we don't recognize, and they're going to go back to the barbaric parts of the sport, which is what I want to see anyway.
On Google, there doesn't seem to be a consensus with all the statistics, but football's up there. But you'll be surprised with
Soccer is one of them, right?
soccer, female soccer specifically, and mixed martial arts is also another one I see up
But
there.
nobody's trying to talk bad about soccer. Nobody's saying you shouldn't head a soccer ball that's coming at you 60 miles per hour. Nobody's saying none of this other shit that they have get done. It's just like we don't want to see macho. We don't want to see masculinity exercised, and I think that's stupid.
All right, so we are going to talk about some news that has been transpiring lately dealing with a quarterback, and that quarterback is none other than Trinidad Chambliss. But we got some news regarding his ability to play because wait for this to load. The NCAA is appealing the Trinidad Chambliss preliminary injunction, which granted him eligibility for the 2026 season. In a 658-page filing to the Mississippi State Supreme Court, the NCAA is asking the court to overrule the injunction and expedite the ruling, according to Pete Thamel.
I'm liking the amount of money that's being spent on trying to get a young man to stay away from getting a job. Like
They know where to keep it.
it's time to move on, bro. The word for today, job. J-O-B. But I understand, like, when you get as much, when you're making that bread like that. But 658 pages is there's I ain't reading all that shit. It's kind of like I wish a judge would do like with the famous Twitter thing, like congratulations or I'm sorry, but I'm not about to read all that. Like whichever one fits, just put it in there. Like you give me 658 pages, brother, and I don't want to know what that's about. There's got to be a better way to like sum this up. But I personally I want to know what's wrong with him. But I don't get it.
There's this interesting post that's been circulating the internet of the sports side of the internet, courtesy of Isaac Trotter. But he did this poll, created this poll, posted this poll of something that I thought a lot of people talk about in this new age of NIL specifically. But he said there are only 22 high major scholarship players who will celebrate senior night this week, having played at just one place. Mississippi State Sean Jones Jr. is the only SEC senior to finish where he started. So the Big Ten actually led the P5 in terms of players who stayed all 4 or 5 years with 10. Then you have the Big 12, Big East, ACC, and SEC as well.
So how many of those coaches have coached the kid for 4 years? Like I have a hard time. I want to care. I'm trying to care, but I'm not going to because if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. And I don't like. I saw Lane Kiffin quote tweet this. I'm like, you don't get to do that shit, sir. Like this isn't your. You should not. You should shut up and just go and be quiet. That's what you should be doing. They created a culture well before NIL, well before the transfer portal of being a mercenary. And you can have the fan can have school pride. You can have school pride, but that's kind of where it deads and that's where it ends because at the end of the day, nobody associated with it has a sense of pride. There's a sense of forward mobility and doing what's best for you. I just don't like it when if the new thing is to honor people just because they stayed. I don't like that either. I think it was Tennessee. Did you see the Tennessee girl, young lady? Where she quit the team because she felt disrespected that she didn't get the start on senior night. And then they tried to put her in with like 20 seconds left in the game.
Dang.
If you were, you know who wouldn't be having that argument? This is the shit that really irks me. If you were good, you wouldn't be having this argument. And I don't even mean it disrespectfully, like you're not good as a person, but like if you were good, you would have started the game. Like you wanted me to hand you something just because you've been here. This is why the world needs this things that the world needs that we do need to go back to. We have this is why pimps were necessary and why side chicks, when side chicks knew their role, it was more prevalent. The side chick didn't expect just because the dude got divorced or left his girl that she was going to be the next one eventually. And that's when the world was, she knew she had to continue to earn her spot, or you can only win championships if you have role players. There has been no team that only has just the greatest player that doesn't have a deep bench and that doesn't have people who understand their roles. And what it's seeming like is that people only don't want to understand their roles. But yeah, I don't get it. Like that's not something that I couldn't cry about. Or if my son Well, my daughter came to me and said, "Dad, I'm sad that I didn't play on my last game." And like we've known you've been riding the bench for 4 years. Like, what did we expect to change? Like, what was that gonna do? You want to go tell a story some years later that you know what my last game? You want a Rudy story? No. The thing is nobody owes you anything, and this whole thing, including the student athlete doesn't. The university is making their money head end over foot. Nobody owes them anything. So, yeah.
We got some more news coming to you from the NFL. Waiting on this to load. Sorry about that. But we have some news coming from the Jaguars, starting with the home team, and it's one of the few uh, extensions or re-signings that's been occurring in the Jaguars entity. But we got some news coming for you right here. Share this to the screen. That the Jaguars are re-signing tight end Quentin Morris to a 1-year deal worth up to $3 million. He also appeared in 14 games last season as well, courtesy of Jordan Schultz. But just some news from my Jags fans out there, and some re-signings that has occurred this off season.
You got to make sure you sign your backup guys. So I ain't mad at that. I'm not going to act overly excited about that. But yeah.
We got some more news. Let's get to the biggest news story of this off season. As of this past week, the Chiefs traded cornerback Trent McDuffie to the Rams in exchange for the Rams' first round pick, number 29, fifth round pick, sixth round pick, and 2027 third round pick. It was an all pro. I think twice McDuffie's been an all pro, but he is looking to add to that already. Solid Rams defense. And man, he's going back home to Cali. And what do you think of the Rams acquiring Trent McDuffie?
I mean, I think that's a. I hate the Rams. They're such a good front office. Not any, but a lot of the moves that they make aren't bad moves. So I'm all in for that. I like that.
Next, we got some help for Josh Allen in terms of that wide receiver position. So there was news that the Bears traded wide receiver DJ Moore to the Buffalo Bills in exchange for a 2026 second round pick. And the Bears will get a 2026 second round pick in exchange for Moore and a 2026 fifth round pick. So, James, what do you think about Josh Allen getting some help from DJ Moore? Because a lot of people have been saying that he doesn't have the best wide receiver unit.
No, it doesn't have it at all. When one of your better receivers is a guy who is inconsistent, shout out to my bastard son. But if him with some more weapons, him with that running game, that definitely makes the Bills. The Bills did definitely get a little bit better based on paper. So you have to also see how everything kind of joins together, and then you have to see how it mixes up with free agency. But this definitely makes them a better squad. I think is Jaden on mute?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Hello?
you.
Okay, my bad. I need to fix
All right, I can't hear you, but I'm assuming we're talking about the curse of Cardi B. All right, but Cardi B left him. Well, he broke up a happy home. That's what I'm rolling with. He broke up a happy home. I know it wasn't that simple, but he 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 broke up a marriage. Got a chick pregnant right after she got pregnant. Got multiple chicks pregnant. Beat up a dude that he was banging that he might have SA'd. He assaulted and SA'd. Do you get like double? Like is it extra bad when you do that? Like all in all, I'm I don't have any quarrels with Stephen Diggs, but I'm glad. Couldn't happen to a better person. All of these bad things. Like, and they try to give him comeback player of the year. Like, nah, this guy is whatever. He's a guy that kind of that this the moment's past him. He's for the streets. He's more of a guy. He's a rich streamer, and I think more of us are interested in what his exploits are going to be in shade room than we are on the football field. So if that's what um, he grew up to want to be, then I'm happy for him. So, but I just don't see. I wouldn't want him anywhere near my locker room. Like he's just like, especially with my young players. Like, who knows, man? Just it's not good.
All right, my bad. Had to just reset a little something. But moving along with the show, we got some more news about a rival defensive end, part of the best defensive edge duo last season, and that is Daniil Hunter, one half of that duo with Will Anderson. But Daniil Hunter agreed to terms on a 1 year, $40.1 million contract extension, including a $30.7 million signing bonus. So it looks like he got one more year with his team with the Houston Texans in that AFC South. This is bad news for any other AFC South fans because 55 is the scary dude out there.
Yeah. Um, Texans are it's a it's a scary competent franchise with the owner that's likable. Do you remember? Didn't we show the or I don't know if you were you with us on that show, Jaden, when the owner missed the high five from CJ, and they did a whole fake commercial with him where he was just like this all day until CJ gave him his high five.
Yeah, I remember that.
Just made him just it just seems like a fun organization. I don't want fun organizations in our division. I want the ones that people have to say, I'm only going here for the check. I'm not going here for the love.
It looks like Rashid Shaheed is looking to become part of a new organization because, according to Adam Schefter, Shaheed is said to not be close to an extension with the Seahawks, and the expectation is that he now will test the free agent market Monday. Per sources, he was an electric part of their third unit, their special teams unit. Definitely had some highlights last season, but man, looks like they can't keep up with the books. Got to let go of Shaheed, let him walk. Hopefully, he flourishes somewhere else.
Yeah. Now that's something we could use over this way.
Since we're on the topic of rivals, division rivals that be, the Colts are speaking with teams about a trade for their former Pro Bowl linebacker Zaire Franklin as they look to get under the salary cap by next week, per sources. Franklin, though, led the NFL. He was a tackle leader in 2024. He's a green dot. If you know, you know what a green dot is. But for anybody who doesn't, that is they have the actual microphones and they hear the play calls. So quarterback's a green dot on offense. Usually the defensive captain has a green dot on defense. As Mr. Franklin was a captain as well. Definitely knows how to see ball, get ball. But man, they're looking to shop around for Franklin because he is valuable. Where do you see him going, James? If you could have any place in mind that could need a strong inside linebacker such as Zaire.
Um, shit, everybody can use those, including the Jacks. But the Panthers need somebody like that. Especially if you have the green dot, you want the guy that can communicate, be able to set the defense in a proper formula. So, just really just trying to. I mean, that's the big thing is what do you want to is. He's definitely a guy that can upgrade any defense, but it's about him. Is he going to look for a payday or is he looking to win? Which either way, I think is smart. Go set generational wealth. But if it's the difference between a couple 100,000 and being on a playoff contender, you got a guy right here because the Colts defense was actually pretty good, and he was a big part of that.
Next thing we got on this list is more Pro Bowl linebacker talk because the Bears are releasing former Pro Bowl linebacker Tremaine Edmonds. Per sources, Edmonds has been a full-time starter each of his 8 NFL seasons, and he will now become a free agent with 900 tackles on his resume, according to Adam Schefter. Wow. Man, he definitely is a dog on that football field, force to be reckoned with. His build, his measurables is crazy. Can't believe, man, just doing that as a linebacker on the field, causing terror. But I know another team will be happy to get Mr. Edmonds for sure. This one is a little bit of a surprising piece of news for anybody out there who is an NFC South fanatic, and more importantly, a Saints fanatic, because got some news on Mr. Cameron Jordan, 8-time Pro Bowl defensive edge Cameron Jordan, who has spent his 15-year career in New Orleans and had 10.5 sacks last season, will not have a new deal in place with New Orleans by next week, and now will hit free agency for the first time in his NFL career per sources. Jordan will play a 16th NFL season and is said to be open to leaving New Orleans.
Damn.
So, what do you think about players like Cameron Jordan, James, who spent 15 years at one place and they're not getting afforded the deal with their respective team, hopping in that free agency? What's kind of do you think their mindset is when you spent so long with the team and they're not giving you an extension when you put so much work and years into the organization?
Big business is not relational. I mean, there is a relational aspect of it, but the NFL of itself is a big business. Organizations are a smaller fraction of another big business. When you're the chattel, it's less about relationships and more and how long you've been there, as opposed to being productive. So you have to, in order to not have feelings involved, you have to know when it's the time to bow out. And I think like guys who have been with an organization for over 10 years, one, if they've committed to and given you that, then you shouldn't be mad. You should be grateful that you were there for as long as you were there, because that doesn't happen often. And lastly, I'll say is that even if you did go somewhere else to play, you should still come back and be grateful. Like for a person like Mercedes Lewis, right? Mercedes Lewis played the majority of his career with the Jacksonville Jaguars. It was time to go. Like me, for perspective, me and Mercedes Lewis are the same age. We both were in that 26 class. Like it's time to go, bro. It was time to hang him up when they did do that. But he was able to go and and be a very functional part of the Packers organization. I think he might have went somewhere else. But like when it's all said and done, come retire as a Jag and flourish and allow people to give you your flowers.
These are the top free agent quarterbacks currently in the market. So you got Malik Willis, Kyler Murray, Kirk Cousins, Aaron Rodgers, and Marcus Mariota. This is according to Greg Rosenthal. But these are the more facey quarterbacks in free agency that's looking to become part of a new squad. But James, what do you think about the Malik Willis? Is it hype or is it just love and support you see out there for Malik Willis? Do you think it's overhype, excuse me, or you think it's just straight logical fan speculation?
I think it's overhyped because of the market. Like in the market is being pushed by the media. Like blow that up again. Like here, it's like dog. Like Jameis Winston is done. I really want to know what the media is trying to get Jameis. They're bullying Jameis to go ahead and take the career track in which we all can't wait for. Right? They want this man on Sundays talking. Malik Willis is the best has the best right now resume of these five. And he's younger, and you can feel like you have the feeling that he could potentially get better. Like if I want to tie and it's for cheaper. If I'm going to tie my resume, my career as a coach to him or Kyler Murray, I'm going to go with Malik. Kyler's got a lot of years of bad football on record. Malik doesn't. Aaron Rodgers is in the twilight of his career, and we've seen he just can't do nothing. He'd rather spend the offseason high on shrooms and conspiracy theory talk, telling people that while he doesn't know what's in the COVID shot, why he can't take that, but he's willing to do an experimental surgery on his injuries that he doesn't even know about. And then Marcus Mariota hasn't been good in quite some time, and Kirk Cousins, no. Like those are all like Marcus Mariota is the worst. There's no way if he's the fifth best quarterback. If he's the fifth best quarterback, Malik Willis is going to be a top 15 quarterback in the NFL next year.
BetMGM decided to predict where some of the top NFL free agents will land and how much money they could be getting. So you got Alec Pierce with the projection to go to the Raiders, 4-year, $110 million. Malik Willis to go to Arizona, 3 years, $100 million. Tyler Linderbaum, 4 years, 95. Trey Henderson going to Tampa. With the prediction of 3 years, $90 million. One Dale Robinson, 4 years, 84. Devin Lloyd going to Cincinnati, 3 years, 58.5. Kenneth Walker going to Washington, 4 years, $52 million. Jaquan Brisker, 342. John Franklin Myers, 240. And Mike Evans with the prediction to go to the Patriots for 2 years, $30 million. What do you think about these predictions?
Like again, that Mike Evans one just goes back to the Jordan and then just some of these other people. Like, come on, man, this man is giving you 1,000 years damn near every year in Tampa Bay. But that'd be a guy who New England. That's a perfect New England guy to fit as you try to make Pop maybe one of your premier guys. Devin Lloyd to Cincinnati is a good look, but we're not gonna. I would prefer to keep Devin over ETN, but you're not gonna be able to keep both. Blow that back up though, Jaden, so I can see. Malik Willis there. Oh, that would be really, really good. Outside of those, man, it just Walker to you know what? That makes sense. He was an NFC East guy. When Mike Norvell first took over Florida State, because Walker's a Mike Norvell guy from Memphis, Coach Norvell had a running back on every team in the NFC East, which is pretty impressive when you think about it.
I don't know why this comparison has been circulating lately. I'm not too sure, but if you could provide me some insight, if you know, maybe that would be helpful. But they decided to compare the career stats of Fred Taylor in beast mode, with Fred Taylor getting the best of him, even though they have a tied head-to-head record. But Fred Taylor played 4 more games. Excuse me. He had 2,534 rushing attempts, a little bit more than Marshawn. Got 11,695 rush yards, an average of 4.6 yards per attempt, point 0.4 greater than Marshawn. But Beast Mode got him on the touchdowns, almost beating him by 20. And in terms of receiving, Fred Taylor got more receptions, a little bit more reception yards, and zero point 0.5 more yards per route. But Beast Mode has one more receiving touchdown than Freddie T. James, you know why this has been circulating on everybody's feed lately between these players? Because they're two very different running backs too.
Mm-hmm. Well, one is said to be, there's a lot. So a lot of us don't consider Marshawn Lynch a Hall of Famer. He's one of my favorite running backs. But right now, everybody's arguing that Fred Taylor needs to be a Hall of Famer. Two different eras of football too. Fred Taylor was in an era where the running game was still more prevalent than it was with Marshawn Lynch. So his 10,000 is different than Fred Taylor's. He has a Super Bowl. We'd all argue that if they would have given the ball to Marshawn, that they would have 2 Super Bowls, correct? Does anybody doubt that Sierra's husband lost them the second Super Bowl? Then you have the fact that he scored more touchdowns than him and had less rushing attempts in a passing era with a quarterback that probably will get an opportunity to, when it's all said and done, to be entered into the Hall of Fame. It's just, I think that's kind of where it comes down to. If Marshawn Lynch, the argument could be, and I'm not saying this is right or not, the argument would be is that if Marshawn Lynch is not a Hall of Famer, neither is Fred Taylor. That could be the argument that people are trying to make with that. Or that if you think Fred Taylor's a Hall of Famer, then you must think Marshawn Lynch is a Hall of Famer. I happen to like both of them.
Now we are at the BS or Bussin' food review segment. Proud to be a part of the Big Games BS section of the show. And you said you're going to Tampa, James, so you're probably going to have to swing by this guy and get you a plate. Not from a restaurant, though, from the trunk. So we got some trunk hibachi for you coming out of Tampa, Florida. And you're going to see if this is BS or this is bussin'. Oh, wait, let me make sure to get the sound right for you guys. Gonna share this with you right here. Give me 1 second. It is loading for you guys. Gotta make sure we get the sound right for the Tampa Bay Hibachi Man. Got him right here. So we gonna do this. Play this video for you guys.
Hey man, Tampa, Florida, man. When I tell you, off the blicker, you hear me? Off the blicker,
Straight like that.
I'm
Straight like
talking
that.
about hood bocce God, you hear me? Real shit, you hear me?
You just put a Blackstone
Hey,
in
listen, man, Tampa, Florida in that order, man. Whenever y'all come through Ebo City, whenever y'all come through this region, the southeast region, cause guess what? He be in Texas, he be in Tennessee. Y'all probably done seen him in New Orleans for the Super Bowl. You hear me? Hey man, come get that hood bocce, man.
Hood bocce.
Get you some, you hear me? And then get you some more. Potatoes, steak, chicken, shrimp, broccoli, fried rice, lo mein. It don't
He
matter.
was smoking a blunt, right? Like while he's
And he
cooking.
got that drink. And he got that drizzy. Selma Avenue, man.
You say you got
When
that
y'all come to Tampa, Florida, make sure y'all
broadcasting that part. We don't want to see my man get arrested. He's already running the risk of operating a food truck without a license. Clearly,
Right.
last thing we need is my guy getting jammed up. But while we're at it, just slide me a plate. You know, I know it's seasoned, and hibachi isn't really like isn't. I don't know why black people like hibachi so much. I think I think it's because we like our food very, very well cooked for the most part, and you're gonna do that. They're gonna season the fuck out of the food, and after I've been drinking, like if that's something, if I'm paying 20, because the food trucks are out of control. If I'm paying $20, then I might as well pay $20 for that.
The blacks and Asians have a long culinary history together. We just
Like if they just would stop, if we could just figure out a way to stop hating each other,
right.
taking over the world, but between their discipline and our willingness to just smash shit open, like we would be great. Like Korean fried chicken, like
Oh man.
some black. But again, that also goes to the myth of like black women, like, oh, y'all just want us to cook. Who you think taught them Korean women how to cook? Them black men went over there and told them how to fry chicken properly, and they was getting some imported penis, and they just loved it. My boy Charles Walker put, "I love the creativeness, but this is so unsanitary." Correct, but check. Hear me out.
Right.
Miles would know too. I don't know if Jaden knows because Jaden was in Fleming Island. But then again, Jaden's people is Caribbean. If you've ever, the best food you could get in the Northeast, right, comes from bodegas or comes from like places like that just look like, I don't know if they ain't got no hairnet, but they bald with dandruff. And I don't want that dandruff flake to get into my food, but that might be the source of the seasoning. We don't know. It's just sometimes you just got to eat and ask questions later. Like everybody, like they think the culinary comes from having truffle oil and things of that nature. Nah, man. It just sometimes it's like that man is, like your mom said, that man is smoking a blunt and I ain't see him ash yet.
You're right.
So that lets me know that might have some THC in it.
You're right.
Because you probably got a little bit of ash in there.
THC and MSG mixed together. Perfect.
Oh man, it's a perfect combination. Like they'll do studies about this. But yep.
So we're gonna close out the show on a somewhat sad note, definitely for college football in its whole. But legendary coach, legendary Hall of Fame college football coach Lou Holtz died at the age of 89. He won the 1988 national championship at Notre Dame and spent over 40 years coaching in college and the NFL. RIP to Lou Holtz, a legend in the game for sure.
AKA Scrooge McDuck. Or Donald Duck. Have you seen them put him on the Lifestyle remix? Like somebody put like he was the, hold on, let me see if I can find it. This shit just, it had me, it just some of the creativity that we put out here has me cracking up. Personally, I like and respect him as a coach. As a person, not so much, but here we go. That was, I don't know if you can hear that great, but that was literally him getting tongue-tied live on air because he got a thick-ass tongue with a lot of spit. Pause. But Lou Holtz, very controversial. Lou Holtz has always been one of those guys. He's an old white man from the South, and just like I'm not crying for Tommy. It's not Tommy Tuberville. Yeah, Tommy Tuberville when he goes. I'm just not going to care. I'm not going to say anything bad about him, but I'm going to tell you the truth because this is the history. These are the things that they're proud of. Lou Holtz was fired from Arkansas. And here's the reason why he was, or some of the reasons why he was fired. He recorded a political TV ad for a guy by the name of Senator Jesse Helms. Jesse Helms was a racist-ass senator that he went out while he was trying to actively recruit blacks to come play for him at Arkansas, defending the guy that basically had the worst things to say about blacks. There are some guys who make piss poor decisions. It's kind of equivalent to, and I'm not telling you who to vote for or who not to vote for. Just saying you got to know where your bread is fucking buttered. If you need a certain group of people, do what Nick Saban's doing. Anybody know what politician Nick Saban likes? Can anybody tell me? Because I damn sure can't, because I ain't never seen a motherfucker in a political ad before. Nick Saban does what all people tell colored athletes to do. Stick to fucking football. That's what Nicholas Saban does. So, and then also one of the funniest stories, Lou Holtz stories, is the Bobby Bowden story when Lou Holtz was at William and Mary and Bobby beat the shit out of him. And he went over to Bobby to talk bad about him, and he said, what happened to like sportsmanship? And he said, if you spent more time recruiting more Wills instead of Marys, maybe the game would have been closer. Again, like I said, man, the man is the man. We all have things that are maybe controversial, not necessarily controversial, but the things that people across the board might not necessarily agree with. But you have to take into account that that's just the beautiful thing of what makes man. I do believe he was a really, really good football coach. But just because you're a good football coach, there are some things that I just personally could not agree with. And that's fine. That's why we live in America. But I would never knock the fact that he did something that very few people have had the opportunity to do. He won a national championship at Notre Dame. He has been a very good coach. He was a good coach in South Carolina. He was a good coach most of the places that he's been at. And I know, somebody, I don't know if he leaves behind a wife or grandkids, but I do know that there are people who believe that this man was the salt of the earth, and I ain't got much bad to say about him. So not kudos to him. But I will say this, he's more than likely, I'll say this for more often than not, most of us, if there is a place to go at the end when this is all said and done, most of us will be looking up, and we ain't gonna be looking down on folks. So, but yeah, that's all I got with Lou Holtz. I don't know if Jake. Oh, there we go.
All right, that should be it on my end. Any last words to say to the fans as we close out this weekend episode?
Nah, that's about it, man. I appreciate everybody for chopping it up with us. Have a great weekend. Make sure you check out the page, like and subscribe. See you guys next week.